Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you like this video. With that, let's get into it. Alphabet headcanons with Bakugou. A. Affection. In the beginning, Katsuki's affection will come out quite stubbornly and will be harder to see at times. Later on, it's obvious how much he cares for you. His heart is full of love, despite his aggressive attitude. He's not afraid to show PDA, no matter who's watching, and you're often the receiving end of his rare compliments. Katsuki is always ready to say, "I love you." B. Best friend. How would they be like as a best friend? How would the friendship start? That's a tricky one. Befriending people isn't exactly in Katsuki's radar, but he'd prefer someone who could keep up with him, if so to speak. Reliable helps too. This friendship might start with him genuinely, although reluctantly, praising your quirk and skills. C. Cuddles. "This is damn stupid," he'll mumble as he wraps his strong arms around you, but in truth, he's loving every minute of it. Katsuki's down to snuggle in front of everyone, but if you're the one initiating it, he'll be a tad bit embarrassed and no one dares to point it out. When you two are completely alone, you'll get to see his softer side, and you might even be the big spoon for once. D. Domestic. He'll want to settle down in the sense that he needs to be sure that you're his and he's yours. The method of doing so will depend on what's best for the both of you, but moving in together is probably in the cards. Katsuki makes a fantastic roommate because, among his many talents, cooking is one of them. He is also a bit of a clean fanatic, and you might wake up to him vacuuming or doing the dishes at 7 a.m. or something. E. Ending. If they had to break up with their partner, how would they do it? Firstly, he would fight tooth and nail against whatever was threatening the relationship, because he is not letting you go easily. If it absolutely came down to ending things, Katsuki would make it straight to the point and as quick as possible. He wouldn't be able to remain just friends with you, and would never truly move on in his heart. F. Fiancé. How do they feel about commitment? How quickly would they want to get married? Katsuki is beyond committed, and he firmly believes there are several ways to show it, besides putting a ring on it. If you two were to eventually get married, it would be later on, so your careers could be focused on. He just wants you both to succeed and achieve your dreams more than anything. But if the marriage was something you really wanted, he might consider tying the knot earlier than previously planned. G. Gentle. How gentle are they, both physically and emotionally? Although I think Katsuki is actually a sensitive person, he can definitely be on the rough side of things. He can read and interpret others' emotions, but relating to them proves to be a challenge. I don't believe he'd ever act maliciously towards you or anyone else he cares for. He's got a soft touch, and even the occasional kind words during the most surprising times. H. Hugs. Katsuki is a bigger fan of kisses, but he does love hugs. He's always touching you, Huge bear hugs, squeezy, warm, the type to literally lift you off your feet. He'll leave little tickling kisses on your neck and shoulders, while whispering words against your skin. I love you. He'll say those words in every possible way. Besides actually saying them, it's like a mental block of Katsukis, because he's admittedly scared of proclaiming his love in such a straightforward way. Once he gets over the first hump, it's no problem for him. He won't be throwing the words around like candy, but he'll always say what's on his mind. J. Jealousy. Katsuki is emotional, and jealousy is a familiar feeling for him. Being a bit of a hothead doesn't help either. The jealousy stems from his insecurities and can be overbearing. At the beginning of the relationship, it will probably be the cause of some arguments between you two. Later on, jealous Katsuki will just include him being extra pissy and extra cuddly. K. Kisses. Passionate. Always. Even during your first kiss. It doesn't matter where. If he's kissing you, then he's happy. It depends on your preferences. And as for him, his neck is especially sensitive, and he'll never admit it. L. Little ones. Well, after the remedial lessons episode, we know he's not very good. At all. Despite that, I could still imagine him wanting kids eventually, and I can stand any kid except my own type. Morning. Katsuki is your typical morning person. He's up at the same time every day, and it amazes you. Well, unless you're a morning person yourself, that is. If you're a heavy sleeper, then waking you up will be his new personal mission. He'll probably make you a nice breakfast and get as many kisses as he could before work. And night. This guy goes to bed like 9 p.m. He's got a strict schedule, and if somehow you manage to get him to stay up later to watch a movie with you or something, he's gonna fall asleep on your lap. And it's adorable. It's a perfect opportunity to play with his soft hair without having to hear him grumble about it the entire time. Oh, open. It's going to take a while to break through his outer shell, but he's not exactly secretive about his feelings and his past. Katsuki trusts you enough to be open with his mistakes, and he won't hide anything if you just ask. P. Patience. I think this one is a bit self-explanatory, but it's not very often that he's angry at you. He's getting better at controlling his anger, and you tend to bring out his gentler side too. Q. Quizzes. How much would they remember about you? Do they remember every little detail you mention in passing? Or do they kind of forget everything? In the moment, it may seem like he simply brushes it off, or doesn't really acknowledge it, but that's actually not the case. Do not be fooled. Katsuki always remembers and takes everything into consideration. The number of little things he keeps note of is surprising. R. Remember. What is your favorite moment in your relationship? One Saturday afternoon, Katsuki decided he was going to try out a new chocolate cake recipe, and you decided to try your hand at baking for once. He was willing to teach you, and it was going well. until you somehow manage to drop an egg yolk right on Katsuki's sock-covered foot, his favorite pair of socks at that. The kitchen was quiet until he swiftly flicked flour at your head, and it was game on from there. The next 30 minutes were filled with lots of flour and kisses. S. Security. How protective are they? How would they protect you? How would they like to be protected? Katsuki couldn't be more protective of you, and he's more than willing to use his quirk if needed. He's prepared to fight for you in the blink of an eye, no question about it. His job as pro hero means so much when you're someone he has to protect, but he also knows it's a mutual feeling. He completely believes in your own physical abilities to keep him safe, and your assuring words make him truly feel like the greatest. T. Try. How much effort would they put into dates, anniversaries, gifts, everyday tasks? He's certainly not lazy when it comes to your relationship, but at the same time, Katsuki finds things like fancy dates and lavish gifts kinda pointless. He couldn't care less about eating at an expensive restaurant. All that matters is that he's with you. That's not to say he won't give you nice things, because he will be spoiling you, especially on anniversaries and holidays. You. Ugly. What would be some bad habits of theirs? His inferiority complex has always been his biggest enemy. There are times when he just can't shut off his competitive side, and it can turn things ugly when he lets his insecurities get the best of him. His temper is also something he struggled with and is still learning how to manage. V. Vanity. How concerned are they with their looks? Katsuki really doesn't care about that kind of thing. Of course, it does fuel his ego and boost his confidence when you compliment his looks. He considers himself to be an attractive person, but nothing too special. W. Whole. Would they feel incomplete without you? He likes to believe otherwise, but yeah, in truth, he really would. He couldn't imagine a day without you. It's just a scary thing for Katsuki to accept that he relies on someone other than himself for once. X. Extra. A random headcanon for them. He'll never admit it, but spiders really freak him out. Let's just say he wouldn't argue if you offered to take one outside. Why? Yuck. What are some things you wouldn't like, either in general or in a partner? Someone who gives up easily will just kinda irritate him. Katsuki knows people struggle. Hell, he's definitely one of them. But seeing someone simply not try and throw in the towel when things don't go their way is something that would get on his nerves. Sad. What is a sleep habit of theirs? He's got a really cute snore. Yep, it's not even really a snore, more like some kind of soft breathing noise. But it's also noticeable and something you've grown to love. It's also difficult for Katsuki to fall asleep in places other than his own bed. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I did making it. Anyway, goodbye.